What is up, everybody? Welcome to Jamestown. I'm James, and today we're going to go over title companies, closing attorneys, what they are, what they do, and how they pertain to wholesaling. Now, as a beginner, a title company or closing attorney is very easily overlooked. I know I did. But a good title company or closing attorney can literally make or break your deals, therefore either producing you or costing you tens of thousands of dollars. Now make sure you stick around to the end of the video where I'm going to show you exactly what to say and how to say it to make sure that your title company or closing attorney is wholesale friendly and will work their butt off to close your deals and make you money. Let's get into it. Alright, first let's go over what a title company or closing attorney is supposed to do. So their four main jobs are as follows. First is hold the earnest money deposit and escrow on all pending transactions. Second is they make sure that the title to the property is clean. This means making sure there are no liens or unknown mortgages on the property. Third is that they make sure the buyers get exactly what they're paying for. This also means providing them with title insurance in case something that they missed pops up down the road. And last but not least is they manage the physical closing of the transaction. So their first job of holding the earnest money deposits in escrow is to ensure that all parties are serious about the transaction. When you sign a signed purchase and sale agreement with the seller, you will submit an earnest money deposit to them so that they know you're serious about closing on the deal. Similarly, when you sign an assignment contract with the end buyer, they will submit an earnest money deposit so that you know they're serious about going through and closing on the deal. This ensures that nobody's going to back out of the deal for fear of forfeiting the earnest money, or as it's called, good faith deposit. The title company or closing attorney will then either refund these or credit them towards the purchase when the transaction closes. Alright, so their second job of making sure that the seller has clean title entails the following. First, they will run a title search to make sure that the seller of the property does indeed hold the title. Secondly, they will make sure that there's no liens or encumbrances, such as back taxes or unpaid water bills that will transfer with the title and end up screwing over the end buyer. Lastly, they will make sure that there's no unknown mortgages or loans that the seller either forgot about or was trying to get by without disclosing. So my first deal, a week before it closed, it turned out that the seller was hiding a $30,000 loan that he had against the property. This absolutely decimated my profit margins. This forced me to go renegotiate the end price with the buyer, which he wasn't happy about but accepted, and it still brought my overall profits from $30,000 down to $9,000. It really sucked, and that's what makes the third thing that a title company and closing attorney are supposed to do so important. Which brings us to ensuring that the buyers are getting what they're paying for and providing the owners and lenders with title insurance policies. This way, if the title search misses a lien or a loan and it were to transfer with the title, it would protect both the owners and the lenders against that issue. It's not their fault things were missed during the title search. This also makes the lenders of the mortgage more comfortable and secure in even providing that mortgage to the owner in the first place. Last but not least, they are tasked with managing the closing of the transaction. This means answering questions and resolving issues between both parties that would otherwise delay the closing, as well as providing an actual physical location where the closing will take place. There's a lot of signatures required, paperwork that needs to be done, and things that will need to be explained. This will usually be at the title company or the closing attorney's office. Now, as a wholesaler, you won't need to be there for that, so that's just another additional benefit of wholesaling and why you can do it from anywhere. You can then have your check mailed to you, or in my case, go over to the closing company if it's local and pick it up yourself. Alright, so now you know what their job entails, let me teach you how to find them. So my first one that I went with was a title company that was actually recommended to me by a friend. You know, the guy seemed okay, but I never really vetted him or had a long conversation with him myself. Now, when my first deal fell through, not only did I lose my earnest money deposit, which he did nothing to help me get back, but he also tried to charge me $500 because the deal fell through and he didn't get to make any money. I now know that that's extremely unethical, wasn't right, and I'm really glad that I didn't pay him. He was subsequently fired, and I moved on to the next one. Lesson 1 learned. So for my second try, I decided to go with a closing attorney this time. Now again, this was a recommendation from a friend, and he seemed kind of cool up front, a little salesy, but I decided to go with him anyways. And he actually did help me close my first deal. He actually even found me the buyer for my first deal, so I closed it for the $9,000. The problem was when it came to actually sending me my check for the assignment fee, he was delaying for weeks, almost a month, and he was just kind of giving me the runaround, not being very respectful. So even though I did end up getting the money and getting paid, he was subsequently fired. Lesson number 2 learned. So after those first 2 failed attempts, I actually found out that my personal criminal lawyer was a real estate whiz. We talked about life, real estate, and even wholesaling, which it turned out he had done a bunch of wholesale deals himself. So then at that point I decided he was my guy, and we've been closing deals ever since. You know, he's made a huge difference to me. There's been multiple deals. There's no way I would have been able to close without him. He's waived his fee for me on a deal where my profits were shrunk due to some bullshit. He's really looked out for me in a way that honestly nobody else has. Whether you're going to call around to attorney and title closing companies, or you're going to look on social media or take recommendations from friends or colleagues, you want to make sure you have a long one-on-one conversation with them, not just about wholesaling and real estate, but about life. You want to make sure that they're a like-minded individual and you guys are actually going to be profitable working together. And when you're having a conversation with them, you're going to want want to quiz them on real estate and wholesaling. They should know at least as much as you, if not more, if they're going to be there for you. Because you're going to need to turn to them to answer hard questions, get guidance in hard situations, and they're going to need to work their ass off to close deals so both of you can make money. And that's it, guys. Now you know what title companies and closing attorneys are, what they're supposed to be doing, and how valuable they are to wholesaling. So get out there and start building the most important relationship you're going to have as a wholesaler. You're in Jamestown now, everybody, so relax, take some notes, and let's make some fucking money.